From the Mayborn School of Journalism at the University of North Texas, this is NT Daily News.
Good morning and welcome to NT Daily News. I'm Ariana Joseph. For 6 consecutive days, 10% of the world's trade came to a halt. The Suez Canal was being blocked by Ever Given, one of the largest container ships in the world. The ship was blown onto shore by high winds and a dust storm. Hundreds of cargo ships were waiting on both sides of the canal for access. Many of the ships rerouted to go around the Horn of Africa, which added at least a week to the ship's journey. It is estimated that every hour the canal was blocked, they lost $400 million in trade. It took a total of 6 days before they were able to dislodge the ship. Teams worked day and night to ensure the world's trade could continue. As many of us college students are learning remotely, we spend more time scrolling through the internet now more than ever. For many incoming college students, this is the first experience away from home. Without that support system they are used to, it makes them more vulnerable to internet scammers.
About 1 out of every 10 college students gets scammed throughout their college experience, according to MarketWatch. A majority of these scams take place online through job scams and phishing, which is sending messages to acquire personal information such as passwords and credit card numbers.
If they're looking for like the job type scams, then a lot of times they'll go after the college students because the college students, that fits right in with their schedule. They're needing something that's flexible that can fit around their classes, and if it's a work from home type thing, then that just kind of fits in with what works best for them.
According to Good Call, 64.5% of college students report running out of money before the semester is over, making college students the most vulnerable demographic.
Probably like my sophomore year of college when I was like really hurting for money and I needed anything. So I was extremely gullible and naive. So I was down for the cause, and I after checking it out, I wanted it to be true, so I just believed it anyway.
Job scammers will ask you to cash checks and delegate the money in different ways. Days later, the check will bounce, leaving the college student to deal with the repercussions.
I was just blissfully ignorant, and I deposited the check into my bank account. I took the money out. I did everything they needed me to do. And then a couple of days later, I got a call from my bank account telling me that the check that I had deposited was a fraudulent check.
Because these scammers use fake names and you may never see their face, catching them is challenging. Although the scammers may be tricky to catch, the University of North Texas is committed to educating students on how to identify scams.
The biggest thing is to give yourself time to think about it. If it sounds like it's too good to be true, it probably is.
There is a page on UNT's home website with information to help students identify scams when they come across one.
Many students are victims to this crime yearly. If you think you're being scammed, reach out to your friends, family, UNT police, and get a second opinion. A big step was taken to help protect millions of Texans fight against COVID-19. As of Monday in Texas, all adults are eligible for COVID-19 vaccine. Chris Van Duzen, a spokesman for the state health department, says many are left concerned, saying it's too soon to take the next step towards opening up vaccinations to everyone. Many healthcare workers and individuals at high risk are still left unvaccinated. Although the eligibility is extending, it is still a priority to vaccinate those who are most at risk first. Vaccination places like Dallas Texas Motor Speedway are able to vaccinate 1,000 people per hour and up to 10,000 people per day. This gives Texans optimism for the future. A local Carrollton resident was arrested by the FBI this past Friday. The FBI has had an investigation open since January 6. David Lee Judd was arrested for allegedly participating in the riot at the U.S. Capitol in January. Judd was arrested on 2 charges. The first charge was assaulting resisting officers. The second was civil disorder, meaning a group became hostile towards authority. Judd was the 20th arrest made by the Dallas FBI's division in correlation to the January 6 riot at the Capitol building. FBI is seeking public assistance to find the North Texas resident that participated in the Capitol riot. If you have any information about this, you can call 1-800-CALL-FBI. A nonprofit organization, Keep Denton Beautiful, this past month had its 33rd annual Great American Cleanup. I spoke to the event coordinator to see how the cleanup works. Great American Cleanup is Denton's largest and longest running cleanup. The entire month of March, citizens volunteered to help pick up litter around the city. This event gives citizens a chance to get together and give back to the community. When a citizen signs up to volunteer, they are given supplies to help pick up litter. The supplies include gloves, litter tongs, and bags to remove the trash.
This year, the Great American Cleanup has been reimagined from one day to a full month, but regardless if it's one day or a full month, when volunteers pick up their supplies, they go right to their cleanup location. And we have over 160 suggested routes for folks to go to.
Although the cleanup may look different from previous years, COVID did not stop them from keeping our community clean. This year it had 870 volunteers for the Great American Cleanup. Its mission is to keep Denton clean and beautiful. Thank you for joining us today. For NT Daily News, I'm Ariana Joseph.